Right, I'm back. YouTube, what's up? Hope you're good. Back at Halo today for a pull session, old school bodybuilding pull, whatever you want to call it. I'm just here, have a good session, train hard, high rep, heavy, get in, get out. I've got Andy behind the camera. Off season, 4 or 5 weeks left of off season. We'll have a proper catch up in a bit. I just want to get through some sets here. Single arm cuffed to warm the lats up and then straight into a heavy T-bar. Haven't used a T-bar in a while. We've been doing a chest supported machine row prior to barbell bent over rows. I'll tell you why in a bit, but today I've just used the T-bar because that's chest supported in here. At Cravers I usually use the prime, but yeah. First movement, heavy, chest supported row, and then we're going to barbell bent overs after, trying to get a big back. So bent over rows can be one of the most butchered movements in the gym because you're having to keep a position. It's quite hard to keep as you're rowing. You've basically got to keep your torso near on parallel to the floor whilst pulling up from that position. So you're here trying to pull up. You can't just come up and do a shrug. But at the same time, should you be so strict that you're not moving any weight? I think it's just finding a balance on the bent over rows. Don't look like you're shrugging it, which a lot of geezers do, and don't be so strict that you're moving 5 kilos. It's not going to build a big back. You've got two perceptions. The old school bodybuilder's got a big back. They loaded up 4 wheels and yanked it around. And then you've got the scientific people that are like, keep it slow and controlled. Do both. Do both. Just don't look like a prat when you do. Oh, fuck. It's too light. Right, moving into a double arm Nautilus. So if we wanted to bias to the lat, we'd probably do a single arm, move to the side, drive the elbow down and in to squeeze that lower lat here. Whereas on the double arm, you don't get a chance to do that. Finishing position is generally about here. So I'm feeling a little bit more upper, mid to upper trap, having a slight lean back as opposed to thinking crunching the lat down. It's not a row obviously, because obviously it still is vertical, but I am leaning back a little bit to come a little bit horizontal at the same time. So we're doing rear delts now, incline, bench. I've recently started focusing a lot more on my rear delts because when you think of it, rear delts are usually something that you tag after your rows, after your pull downs. So the previous back session, I actually started with rear delts. What a connection you get, whether that's dumbbells or the reverse pec deck. Obviously I'm doing them now, I'm towards the end of the session, but when you think, we did a single arm cuff for the lats, we get the lats primed before I pull in, that's great. I feel like the rear delts can go missing sometimes. Your front delts get hit on your pressing, your side delts, a lot of people these days are hammering crucifix cuff raises. We do our side raises with dumbbells. Rear delts are generally just something you tag at the end. So, as I said, the other session I did them fresh, and when you do that back double, you're really going to get those rear delts pop. So potentially try adding 3 or 4 sets of rear delts in to prime your pull session, and then on your second pull, you can do the lat priming prior to the heavy pulling. A little bit of bicep work to finish off. Preachers, which I've been doing lately, really get that contracted position, and then we'll do a lengthened movement as well. Maybe dumbbell incline. I'll probably hit some of the Nautilus machine just to get a bit of a pump. Relatively chilled-ish session today. I've needed a few days off prior to this, been very fatigued just from the training volume building up. But yeah, I think also you feel a bit lethargic in off-season because your food's high. Even though I'm sleeping really well, I think it's very hard to monitor your blood glucose in off-season and keep it stable. I think that's why you can feel quite lethargic. So, but you just got to keep digging. Don't stop your off-season early just because it's uncomfortable. Both ends are uncomfortable. Peak off-season prep, they're both relatively hard. Some individuals prefer one more than the other. They both have pros and cons, but you've still got to stick with the plan and stay with the plan for the time that you're supposed to. Otherwise, if you cut your off-season short, you're not going to look any different next time you diet down, and you don't want that. That's 6 to 8 months of growing or longer if you've planned, like for example, for myself, I'm not competing this year. It'll be next year. I would have had 20 months with growing phases in between that 20 months, majority 16 months of it being in a surplus. You're going to grow some real tissue. Whereas if you just had a 3-month off season, you cut it short, because I'm not hungry anymore, you're not going to look any different next time you diet down. So remember that you need to stay with your off seasons and you need to stay consistent in your preps. Otherwise you just don't get anywhere. Right, one more set of those and then we'll do hammers as well. Trying to get bigger arms. This is currently how I'm looking. Off season. $113 kilos. Not the best. You get the gist of it. Just head over to Minsto, you'll see the updates there. 113. Trimmed down in 4 weeks, and yeah, just keep digging really. I've got loads of clients competing this year, 5 people hopefully, if they all make it. 2 gents, and then 3 females, and then my shows probably won't be till next year, but we're not even focusing on that. I'm just focusing on my business, which is going well, so that's the main thing. But I rebranded my business recently as well, so clothing on the way. So if you're watching this and you want some clothing, just message me and I'll get that sorted for you. I think we're probably going to wrap it there. We'll do one more set of biceps, and yeah, that's it. Got a few YouTube videos backed up I haven't dished out yet. I'll put them in, start doing this a bit more consistently, but I'm just hammering Instagram at the moment, bringing in more clients, getting busy, I'm kind of setting up next year, this year, if you know what I'm saying. So these clients that step on stage will hopefully do really well. That sets up taking on more people for the year coming next year after I've done my show. And yeah, just enjoying the process really. You know, I'm 27 now, I'm getting old. Just got well, this next 2 or 3 years are really important for me. This is the time to get what I've wanted my whole life. So I've been training, someone come up to me in the gym a minute ago, how long have you been training? I was training since I was 15, 16. And I've been working this since I was 17, 18. So something's about to pay off. I hope it does, put it that way. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Safe.